Artist Journal, September 15th, 2022. Berlin. Your artist reporter on the scene. My name is Adrian Pocobelli. I welcome you back. Forgive the tweeting. People seem to like the dinner. We cooked a beautiful stew last night at my friend's place there, and I just, again, a couple of glasses of wine in me, and I'm just tweeting random stuff that I probably shouldn't be tweeting, but people seem to like it, so I decided not to delete it. But anyway, so up to my old bad habits here. I thought we could open with this. We have been joking, you and me, about when is MoMA coming in. I was mentioning it for the last couple of myth sales, like, is MoMA gonna smell the coffee here? And maybe they're starting to smell the coffee, as we see here in this Wall Street Journal article, exclusive, by the way. This is actually by Kelly Crow, and she's a pretty famous art reporter, as far as art reporters are. So maybe someone, Kelly has covered the art market for the Wall Street Journal since 2006. So just another name to know, as we educate ourselves, me included. I didn't know she was there since 2006, on our journey here, on our path. So we don't have much of the article, but we don't need much of the article, and we don't want to read articles here. But we do want the details here. So $70 million in art at MoMA to be sold to extend museum's digital reach. Masterpieces from CBS founder William Paley's Museum Trove are headed to Sotheby's this fall as MoMA seeks to expand its online presence and possibly buy more digital art. And then we have AI work by Renoir. I am joking. And then we have a Renoir here. Pretty nice Renoir, I would say. Still Life of Strawberries will be included in the sale. So, final part on this. The paintings and sculptures by artists including Picasso, Renoir, and Rodin have been in MoMA's care since Mr. Paley, the founder of CBS, died in 1990. So I guess he donated his collection to MoMA, and it's probably a part of the William Paley collection or something like this at MoMA. So they're going to auction off some pieces, 29 of his 81 pieces, to buy digital. They hope to raise $70 million. So, I don't know if anybody who watches this needs convinced that, you're doing a smart thing by buying digital art. I think we already all love it already. But further confirmation that you're on the right path. As they say, the institutions are coming for your JPEGs. And another sign to not kind of dilly-daddle and build a collection while you can. So it's interesting, and I guess my question that I wonder to myself is, what are they going to buy? What are they going to buy? Are they going to buy CryptoPunks? Are they going to buy Xcopy? Will they buy a little bit of everything, like Tezos stuff too? Will they buy a myth? Do they know about the myth? Like with these editions of like 15, or we saw it. By the way, myth is making great sales. Let's actually just turn to that quickly. Then we'll go to Haiti, who I wanted to cover a little bit. Made a sale. Thank you to Anonymous Collector. Got this 1 of 1 for 7 Tezos. Anonymous Collector. Thank you. A very interesting collection that I saw here. So that's awesome. So thank you to them. Let me just go. The Myth has been making some sales, and we kind of missed this yesterday. Again, it's not a news show, it's just a journal, so I'm allowed to do that. But I do want to be somewhat topical here, since we did look at the news today. Anyways, so we looked at this work by the Myth already. It sold to Joe Rogan's dad for 275 Tezos, so about, close to $500, $450, $500, beautiful work, which I was realizing later, this is almost like a Dali it's a psychological landscape is what this is. you know, because he does that a lot. And I think that's part of the reason I really like Myth's work. It's very similar to Dali, but it's not but it took me like, and I know Dali's work fairly well, just because I had to research it somewhat a long time ago. And it's not obvious though. But you know, this is all about his life and different versions of himself and these people that are involved. And, you know, again, it's like a psychological landscape, like a Salvador Dali is a psychological landscape. I don't know if we don't need to bring up Dali. We all know what Dalis look like. That's what they are. They're psychological landscapes. So, but not to get off topic here. So 275 a day ago. Then he started making what I would consider pretty significant sales of 50 Tezos, edition of 15, 45 for this super dark work here, 42 for this edition of 8. So collectors continue to kind of pile in slowly into the Myth. Really nice day of sales. Kurt Hustle collection bought these two, got a steal on these guys, 13 and 19. He was a good buyer. Yeah, if I was rich and put it this way, he's a good buyer. Like I feel like he could do that for a living as well, but he doesn't need to because he makes beautiful work. So anyways, some interesting stuff on the Myth. Quickly, we don't cover Haiti Rocket enough. And he put out a work. Of one of these kind of weird video works where it's kind of like, Windows 95 type screenshot stuff with a lot of his work and stuff inside. You see it here, kind of self-referential, and then the Alien, the video games, the Mortal Kombat, just the madness of Haiti Rocket is back. So he put out another one of these yesterday. If you're quick, you always got to be quick with him. You could have got it for 13. And then someone bought it for 50, and now it's basically gone. I mean, that's very low edition. He usually puts out, I don't know, between 7 and 70. So anyway, and as we think of MoMA, I'll tell you, like, when I first started buying on Tezos, it was Haiti Rocket stuff that I started to buy, and I just thought, like, this stuff looks like it belongs on the walls of MoMA. I'll actually show you, let's copy his name, and I'll show you a work that's in his work's a little hard to navigate because there's so much stuff in it, but let me just show you here. I've bought a ton of his work. Look at this. Let's see if it loads up, and I think it might be early. Let's go, not that. Here's some recent work while that loads up. Yeah, so, I mean, just kind of all over, kind of wild and wacky, almost spurning collectors a little bit, I feel. But that's part of his charm, is basically kind of the rebel yell. Let's see if we can get this working here. There's a piece that when I bought it, I just thought this is what I want to see when I walk in the MoMA. Let's see if we can find it here. Here it is. I think it's Too Hype. I think it's this one. See if my internet cooperates here. And okay, let's let this load up. And yeah, so Haiti Rocket, again, hard to categorize, but as the MoMA buys work, if I was on that board, I would be saying, we got to pick up some Haiti Rocket. Here's like a classic piece. Some of these pesky filters. And again, he doesn't necessarily, like, I don't think he invented the Petsky style. That's been around for a while. You can see YouTube tutorials on it and that sort of thing. But he really made it his own, similar to the Nintendo ROM glitch stuff. And he puts in his own language and his own kind of, I mean, for those that aren't familiar with his work, I mean, it uses a lot of memes, which is interesting. I mean, it kind of makes him a bit of a pop artist, so to speak, of the internet. You know, I mean, he used, you know, this is a piece I just bought, actually, this kind of Mortal Kombat piece, where it just has the guys who are about to be fatality eliminated on Mortal Kombat, and then he put all the characters together. They look like they're at a rave, actually, which is kind of hilarious with a changing color background. So, really interesting. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is it. Oh, wow. I love this piece. Like, this is what I want to see. For those who have been to MoMA, when you walk in the entrance, I think it's been years since I've been in New York, like 2012 or something, 2014 maybe. But you walk in and then it's a big room, and on the right, I think there's a wall, and I just want to see this on the wall, huge, not on a TV, but huge on the wall. This awesome, I think it's MC Hammer, that he just turned into a pixel thing. It's probably like a pixel filter, end of story. Puts in a meme, and that's it, but it's just an awesome work. That was just I would show this to people when I started collecting. I was like, guys, look at how fun, look at how awesome this is, And people agree. They go, yeah, that is awesome. So might pick this up, actually, before I upload this. I was just looking at this. So anyways, not really doing him justice here, but just, when I see this headline about the MoMA, I think of Haiti. He's putting out some work, so let's just do a little bit of coverage there. And yeah, I was looking at Tezos too, just for, so we saw $70 million, and I was just like, what's the market cap of Tezos right now? It's $1.5 billion. And the global art market, God, must be billions and billions and billions and billions. So it doesn't mean it's all going to go to Tezos, but you can imagine that a lot of it will. Finally, and then kind of out of order here, forgive me, this is a daily show, and so I'm doing my best here. Joe Rogan's dad put out an interesting piece. I kind of want to get this too, but I don't have infinite money, where he already is celebrating buying this myth. And what was the name of this? Myth Retreat. There's one more left. I'm tempted to buy it just because I think it would... But you can't buy everything. And there's Joe Rogan's dad there. He was actually on this Twitter Spaces that we did yesterday that I was mentioning. A really cool event. And it was really great just to hear from everybody. So it was a lot of fun. Hopefully we do more of those. And Strange Thing put out a new piece. I missed this, otherwise I might have put in a bid. So now, but it's an addition of 40. It's already 60 Tezos. So he's doing, again, really fabulously. Pretty cool work. Continuing on with the, thug Nike sort of theme in different kind of backgrounds. Interesting meta work by Minta, where now she's showing Blue 7 de la Creme's On Cyber Gallery. So, and is that her work in there, or is this work that's in there? What is Minta is pointing to something here. So it looks like it's getting pretty meta. So again, pretty funny. These works actually look great, the way she rendered them, especially this one. So I continue to just be drawn to Minta's work, because it's just kind of fun and interesting. Conceptually, right? New work by Elby, Tapehead. So just kind of, we're just surveying the landscape here. Wasteman Goldminovich, another kind of dark work, real life, game over. He was the guy yesterday of Self-Portrait of an Artist in an alley. And Adelia sent works to some of her top collectors, which I was kind of almost shocked to see that one of them was me. And I was like, I got to spend less money on this stuff, which I already have started to do, to spend less and barely anything. So anyways, thank you, Adelia. Really cool work. Feel the emptiness. Have you ever felt lonely in chaos? So kind of a bit of a heartbreaker there. It's interesting. I thought to myself, I wonder why she didn't animate it. Because usually she animates these elements here. So just kind of interesting. It's nice to get still works too. And that's basically it here, guys. This is now going for $1,200 also. Booba Boo has listed this for $1,200, so that's always great. I'm having a great time here on Tezos, guys. So I appreciate the love. Thank you for the purchase from the anonymous collector of that Lego nostalgia study. And let's just quickly look at this person here too. Other than that, actually, I do have one other thing I did want to show you. And maybe my internet's really slow here. We can come back to Dave Keel's, which is kind of interesting. So this is, so it's Berlin Art Week here, actually. And this is something I took a picture of, I believe it was yesterday, on the way to the gym. Vertical Crypto Art had a physical event, and because this came up also in the Twitter Spaces yesterday, which is that there should be more physical events, and you can kind of see it's on a TV here. This actually looks pretty good. Like, I criticized the TVs a little bit and saying we should do more projectors, but TVs are practical. I mean, I'll give it that. Like, if you do a projector here, this was a pretty small room. There was 4 of these TVs. I would have taken a picture for you guys. I thought about it. But in Berlin, it's a bit of a no-no to take pictures of people without asking for permission. I think it's actually, technically, I think it's illegal. They don't have that in North America, that's for sure. So I kind of snuck in a picture here, and it's not the end of the world. I probably could have done it and no one would have cared, but I just, kind of like to have a soft touch on these things. And I didn't really talk to anybody. I kind of just went and checked it out, so I wasn't going to start taking pictures and running off. But yeah, it's on 13th to the 25th of September, Vertical Crypto Art in Berlin on Admiralstrasse, just up from the famous Admiralbrücke, the Admiral Bridge. So just kind of interesting because people were talking about this on the Twitter Spaces yesterday. So anyways, I'm going to keep this short. Today I'm going to actually Positions Art Fair. My friend actually, he gave me the VIP ticket, which was really nice. He's like, I'm over it. You go. You go if you want. So I'll take my girlfriend to that. Maybe I'll take some pictures as well of that. And finally, not to be all over the place here, guys, this Dave Keels guy is kind of interesting. And he has the skeleton guy. This all moves. My internet is really slow. So let's leave it there. Until next time, take care.